Hey guys, thank you so much for joining today's webinar. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on which part of the world you are from. I welcome you all to the third episode of the PAM Masterclass, our exclusive product training series, which is specifically designed to help our customers understand our PAM solutions in depth and how you can use them to address your everyday PAM challenges. I'm Srilekha, product consultant at ManageEngine, and I'm joined by Prashant, who is the presenter of today's session, and he's our in-house PAM expert. Now, before we begin, I'd like to make a couple of housekeeping announcements for all of you. All the attendees in today's session will be muted by default. There is a dedicated live Q&A session towards the end of today's webinar. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them on the question and answer panel on your left. Or alternatively, you can post all your questions on the group chat, which we will then take it up during the live Q&A. The session handouts, including the session recording and the presentation deck, will be emailed to you. So please allow us a couple of days to process them. If you have any feedback for us, or if you need any technical assistance on today's topic or on the previous sessions, please don't hesitate to send us an email on the email ID that you see on screen. Now, coming to the masterclass schedule, for the benefit of those who do not know what masterclass is, the PAM Masterclass series is, like I said, specifically designed to help our customers understand all our PAM solutions in depth. This will cover all our PAM products such as PAM 360, Password Manager Pro, Access Manager Plus, and Key Manager Plus. So each session in the PAM Masterclass series will focus on one core PAM module. So as of yet, we have covered privileged account governance, and in the last session, we had covered privilege elevation and delegation management. In today's session, we'll take a look at how you can manage your remote passwords and how you can reset your remote passwords. This will be followed by privilege session management and enterprise integrations that we offer using PAM 360. Now, before we begin, I'd like to hand the control over to the presenter of the day, Prashant. Please, like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to post them on the group chat, or if you have any technical difficulties, or if you have any audio issues or the video issues as well, please post them on the chat. With this, I hand the control over to Prashant. So please give me like 10 to 15 seconds so that the transfer is smooth here. Thank you.
Thank you, Srilekha. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for your participation at Masterclass Episode 3. Myself, Prashant, Lead Product Specialist here at ManageEngine for PAM Suite of Solutions. The topic for today's discussion is going to be remote password management, during which we will explore the remote management capabilities of ManageEngine's Privileged Access Management Suite. Here is a quick trivia for you all. Do you know PCI DSS recommends a password change frequency of once in every 90 days? In addition, it also requires a minimum length of 8 characters, which should be alphanumeric. Also, password parameters are set to require that new passwords cannot be the same as the 4 previously used passwords. Similarly, there are recommendations for other regulations such as ISO, NIST, HIPAA, SOC, and so on. For instance, NIST recommends the following controls: a minimum of 8 characters and a maximum length of 64 characters, usage of special characters, restrict sequential and repetitive characters, also restrict commonly used passwords and dictionary words. So now let's quickly understand why remote password reset management is very important for any organization. Verizon, in the recent data breach investigation report, stated that a staggering 80% of hacking related breaches were used or were because of used, stolen, and weak passwords. This just goes to show that even strong passwords when they are kept unchanged or when they are poorly managed for a prolonged period, the chances are very high where they might be used by attackers to navigate your corporate network without leaving any traces. That is why all cybersecurity best practices and compliance regulations mandate periodically resetting passwords on IT assets. So let's take a look at some of the cyber attacks in the recent years. So they all happened simply because the attackers had access to passwords that were hacked because of poor password management. And these stolen passwords will not just stay with the attacker who gained access to the password. This will be sold to other criminals on the dark web too. So let's also look at the number of famous password related attacks back in 2021. The connecting factor of all these attacks are simply misuse of privileged passwords. In which, let's speak about one incident where a hacker broke into the water treatment facility in Florida, gained access to their internal control system, and changed the chemical levels, which made the water completely unsafe to consume. Okay? All it took for the unidentified perpetrator was one unprotected password to access and handle the entire control system. So time and again, incidents like this prove that when passwords are stored in secure vaults and are subject to standard security practices, the chances of them getting hacked are far lower. Like it's going to minimize the attacking surface. Attackers, in fact, do not need any sophisticated attack methods like phishing or spoofing or even social engineering techniques. All they need is a weak or poorly managed password to hack a sensitive data. Now, let's take a further look at why organizations need a password reset routine, because it prevents reuse and abuse of passwords, where password reset routine will actually help in preventing unauthorized access to. Say, for example, a user has access to a remote server. The passwords to that server will have to be automatically rotated after the user has completed their session. If passwords are rotated after every single use like this, IT teams can prevent unauthorized login attempts in future because the old password will expire and it becomes invalid, right? So it also helps you to keep the privileges intact. This means only the authorized users can do privileged operations, right? Not all the users in an organization, only the users who are supposed to perform a critical operation or any elevated operation. Also, it helps comply with industry standards and regulations. For example, GDPR, uh, PCI DSS, HIPAA mandate periodic resetting of passwords once in every number of X number of days. So, in order to stay compliant with these standards, it is important for organizations to have stringent password policies in place, which will cover alphanumeric, long, and complex passwords and more. But periodic password reset will be a time consuming and tedious process for enterprise IT teams. As you know, like you will have millions and millions of accounts and credentials. So as a result, IT team normally leave the passwords unchanged. And at times, the same password will also be used across multiple accounts. As these passwords remain unchanged for a very long time, they could make it easier for attackers to breach the security perimeter without leaving any trace. Also, since manual resets are time consuming, the only option is to automate the process of periodic password changes, which is exactly what we will cover today. Speaking about the automation, both PAM 360 and Password Manager Pro come with built-in options to help you rotate and randomize the passwords of your privilege accounts. It can be periodically rotated through scheduled reset tasks too. In today's session, we will essentially take a look how you can create and associate password policies, how you can perform password reset both agentless as well as using agents, how you can reset passwords for Windows service accounts, how you can perform password integrity and sync check, and the final one is going to be post password reset action. For demonstration purposes, today we will take a look at PAM 360, but I mentioned before the reset options are the same in both PAM 360 and Password Manager Pro. So first, let's look at the password policy module, which is under the admin tab, resource configuration, and password policies. As discussed, organizations may have to adhere to various IT standards and regulatory compliances. And every industry standard and regulatory compliances come up with suggestions on password length, alphanumeric special characters, usage of common and dictionary words, sequences, password similarity, and yes, most importantly, the password age. In the same line, PAM 360 comes with predefined password policies. So each policy has a specified level of severity in terms of password length, alphanumeric requirements, mixed cases, password age, and old password reuse. That said, you can also customize your own password policy with your organization's IT policy. Let me quickly create one here. You can mention what should be the minimum length, the maximum length, whether you want to enforce a mixed case, special character, if you want to ignore dictionary words or commonly used words, the sequences, it can be alphabet sequence or numeric sequence, password similarity, the password age. So the password strength meter lets you know how strong the policy is. With the inbuilt password generator, you can see the sample passwords of the policy that is being created. So once after creating the policy, you can associate the same to an account by navigating to the account section, account actions, edit account, and associate the policy that we created. You can also associate a policy on the resource level. So next to every resource, you will have resource actions where you can edit the resource and associate the password policy. The password policy association can also be done in bulk by selecting the required devices. You can click on resource actions and associate password policy. Right? It doesn't end with this. You can also associate policies for a group of passwords. Say for Windows passwords, you need a specific password policy. Next to every group, you will have actions, edit group attributes, where you can associate a password policy that you create. Right? So PAM 360 provides password reset support for a wide range of target systems. Passwords can be changed anytime on demand or automatically randomized at periodic intervals through scheduled tasks. Password resets can be carried out in one of the two following modes, either agentless or agent based. For agentless password reset, PAM 360 directly connects to the target system and changes the password. On the other hand, agent based resets come in handy when you have to reset passwords for resources without direct connectivity, such as those in DMZ or with firewall restrictions. So, to accomplish those password resets, a PAM 360 agent needs to be deployed on the remote host, which executes the task for you. All communication between the agent and the application is one way, and it is going to be over HTTPS. Right? So, to put it very simple, you can go for the agent mode only when the devices are behind the firewall, DMZ, or in an isolated network, or when you don't have the required services running on the resource. Say for Windows, if you don't have WMI, and for Linux, if you don't have SSH, or when you are running PAM 360 application on a Linux server, and if you are trying to make a password change to a Windows resource. So for the agentless mode, you must supply just the administrative credentials to perform the password changes. So to keep password reset simple, we recommend that you choose an agentless mode in all other cases, as it is more convenient way of doing password changes. So now let's take a hands-on look on how we can remotely reset passwords. For different resource types, PAM uses different methodologies to remotely connect and reset the passwords. Say, for example, when you are trying to reset a Windows local account, you need to just run the PAM 360 services with an account that has domain admin rights. For Windows domain and all other resource types, you must supply an account that has the ability to remotely change the password, and which is something you may want to supply under configure remote password reset. So the account that you supply should have the ability to remotely log in and perform the password change. So once this is done, you can start triggering the password changes on the target system. And this can be done in multiple ways. So you can change a password on the account level. So next to every account, you will have account actions, change password. You can generate a password based on the password policy that you created. And when you hit save, password changes will happen on the remote resource. Okay. This way, you can perform password change for an account. If you want to perform a password change for the entire resource, like all the accounts in a resource, you can just select the resource actions, reset passwords. And if you want to provide or perform bulk password reset, you can form the or club the passwords into a group, and you will be able to perform password changes in bulk. And this can be done in two ways. You can either do it on demand by selecting what kind of password you may need, either a unique password or the same password. The next option is periodic password reset. So you can automate the task. It's going to be a simple 5-step process, where the first step is going to be notifying before password reset. So you can select when you should notify and who should be the recipients. So you can select the recipients from the list. The second process is going to be password allocation. So what kind of password you may need, either a unique complex password or the same password. The third step is going to be the important one, the reset periodicity. So once in how many days? 30 days or 45 days? And starting from when? From today or from end of this month? At what time you may want to initiate this process? So that would be the third step. The fourth step would be the reset or the retry. Okay. So you can define the number of retries as well as the retry interval. The final option is post reset. Who should be notified about this, about the password change? And you can select the recipients from the list again. That's it. When you hit finish, the schedule will be created, and once in every X days that you configure, a random complex password will be generated, and that will get applied on the remote resources. Okay. The remote password reset operation can be done for the system defined accounts on the wide range of target systems, including the service account passwords. As you know, PAM 360 has the ability to discover the assets and the accounts associated with them along with the dependency details. With a click, PAM 360 will give you a clear picture of where a service account is being used along with the appropriate service name. So these service account passwords can also be reset using PAM. When a service account password is reset, PAM 360 automatically propagates the change across all dependent services associated with the account to avoid any service stoppage. And in addition to service account password, scheduled task, IAS app pool, web config passwords can also be changed or updated by PAM 360. When it comes to agent based password management, as I said earlier, an agent needs to be installed on the target system that needs to be managed. Deploying an agent on a target system will get the device added along with the local accounts on the PAM web console. So, in order to install an agent, you need to navigate to the admin tab, PAM 360 agents. The appropriate agent need to be downloaded and then installed. So you'll be having an agent key using which the authentication is going to happen. And this key can be enabled for active of 1 hour or 6 hours or 4 hours as per your convenience. So once you download the agent, you'll be able to right click and run the agent. I already have an agent installed on the system, which is added here along with its local accounts. And you can also see the description added by agent. The agent residing in the target machine only needs access to the PAM 360 web interface. Thereby, only the PAM 360 web server needs to be available for the agent, nothing other than that. And since the agent uses outbound traffic to reach the login page of PAM 360, there is no need to punch any firewall holes or create a VPN tunnel to allow inbound traffic for the server to reach all the deployed agents. Okay? And the reset mechanism is going to be the same for all the devices as we discussed earlier. And here are the out of the box supported resource types. And this is also shared with you as an handout. So you can download the handout from the handout section for your reference. So for resources that are built by your developers, say any in-house applications or legacy application, which will not be listed in any PAM supported devices. However, PAM 360 facilitates a remote password reset via custom plugins that can be developed through any language code or script like Java, C, PowerShell, Bash, etc. These plugins can be run from PAM 360's interface to carry out password resets. Password reset is primarily an implementation class that an administrator has to manually add in PAM 360. Let me quickly show that to you. So under customization, you'll be able to see password reset plugin. The plugin can be invoked from the PAM 360 server to connect a remote resource and carry out a password reset. We have a sample implementation class and details in our help guide. You can build one as per your requirements, say for the in-house application that you may have. All plugins added should be approved by a second administrator. So this is to guard against potentially risks associated with invoking any vulnerable scripts. The same, once after created, need to be associated as well. Under resource types, you can add that in-house application. You can associate it with the password reset plugin that you created. And once this is associated, you can start managing the passwords for the in-house legacy applications as well. Next comes the sh command sets for password resets. Say if Cisco releases a new product in the market, this will not be available in the supported devices. It is obvious, right? A proper PAM should be still manage these passwords on those systems, or it can be any new device. It can be released to the market in a few weeks ago, or it's going to get released. Therefore, you can formulate a set of sh commands to reset the password of any sh based resources when executed from the PAM 360 interface. Now let's see how you can add and implement password resets using sh command sets. So under the admin tab, customization, you can see sh command sets. Here you can add the list of commands. You will have the placeholders which can be added here. And once you have the placeholders added, you can also add the prompt and the timeout value. Once you save this, this will be listed in the list of sh commands. Once you have the commands, and if you want to have a sequence or if you want to combine them as a set, yes, you can click sh command sets, click on add command set. The list of commands can be associated, meaning say the password reset for the new Cisco device is like entering the old password, followed by that the new password, and then verifying the new password. You can add those commands one by one here, and in the same sequence, the password change would be happen. So let me quickly show that to you as well. So see here, first the commands in this command set will be executed, followed by that the second one. So you can save this. Once after creating a command set, you have to associate the same under the resource types by adding the new Cisco device, and you can associate the same. And you can start managing the passwords. You can start resetting the passwords. It can be either on demand or on schedule basis. So far we have seen how we can remotely reset passwords for a wide range of target system, right? So now let's see how we can quickly verify the password. That is whether the password within the system and on the target system are the same. So next to every account, you will be having an option to click on account actions and verify the password. If the password on the target system and within PAM matches, it would say password is in sync. If not, it would say password not in sync. So see here, here the password is in sync. So the same check, the integrity check can be done in multiple ways. So if you want to do it for a specific group of passwords, you can go to the group section. From here, you'll be able to click on actions and you'll be able to click on find out of sync passwords. So the password that doesn't match, that isn't in sync, will be captured and will be available as a form of a report. And if in case, if you want to schedule the integrity check, yes, you can schedule the integrity check too. And this is for a group of passwords. If you want the same to be as a global setting, you can navigate to the report section and you will be able to see passwords out of sync. So where you can either generate a report or you can schedule the integrity check. And as I said before, this is going to be a global setting. And all these out of sync passwords will be reflected on the dashboard. So it's going to be a comprehensive dashboard which shows you the total number of passwords, that is the privilege accounts, whether the passwords are expired or is there something under violation, or if there is any conflict. Yes, so everything is going to be available in the dashboard. So now let's look at the feature called password reset listener. The objective of this feature is to perform any post password reset operation, which operation will be triggered after the password reset is based on the script that you are going to configure as a listener. You can use scripts to perform basic operations such as triggering a server reboot or running a registry entry to add password into the registry after the reset is complete. You can have your own programs that run through a series of workflows to connect to various other devices, also to update the passwords in various config files as well. So this could be any script, such as a batch file, a shell script, a cron script, a PowerShell script, or even a script that triggers a standalone Java program. PAM 360 can automatically inject information that it holds, but the script must have the intelligence to perform the actual job. In other words, you can build a script that can update the post password reset operation on the target system. So let's quickly see how does a password reset listener work. So under the admin customization, password reset listener, the password reset listener can be invoked even for local password changes. Okay, so you can configure listener scripts individually for each resource type, including the user defined resource types. Like I said, if you have any in house applications, even for that. So the listeners can be added only by the PAM 360 administrators. In addition, all listeners added should be approved by a second administrator to guard against potential risks associated with invoking vulnerable scripts. So once a listener is created and saved by an admin, the same will be sent to an administrator for approval. A mail will be sent to the second administrator intimating the approval request, and the script runs with the same privilege as the user account of running PAM 360 service. Okay? For security reasons, the dual control mechanism is implemented, which is something crucial, which will ensure that two administrators will see and approve the script before it is invoked by PAM 360. PAM 360 will not invoke the script unless and until it has been approved by both the administrators. For example, when an administrator adds or edits the password reset listener, PAM 360 will not invoke the script unless it has been approved by the other administrator. Thus, the add, edit, delete operations related to password reset listeners can be successfully executed only with the approval of two administrators in PAM 360. The actions are also audited for the management's future references. So here I have a sample PowerShell script. Okay. So this script has the ability to run or capture the process and get it listed under my D drive. So see here, I don't have any text file. Okay. So once I perform a password change for a specific device or a specific account of a specific resource type, after the password reset completion, see here, a file called process.txt has been created. This file holds the list of processes on my system. So as I said before, the script should have the ability to perform the desired task. Need to close it. So let's quickly summarize what we have seen so far. So we have seen how you can create and assign password policies, how you can reset passwords at different levels, both using the agents as well as agentless, how you can rotate passwords for Windows service accounts, how you can perform the password integrity check or the synchronization, and how you can trigger post password reset operations. And I would like to share some general best practices or password best practices. So please do ensure you enforce a stringent password policy and also make use of password generators. So only using that you'll be able to generate a strong, unique, complex password, and then resetting passwords periodically to avoid password misuse and reuse, and then changing the passwords after an event of even a small suspicious activity, and do not include any personal information in your passwords like your date of birth or your pet name followed by the year, the current year. So it's a password, so do not include any personal information, and then run passwords against the list of commonly used passwords like QWERTY password at 123. So please do avoid them. And the final and the important one, generate periodic password audits to stay compliant and adhere to your compliance standards. And here are the useful product literatures to know more about the features as well as the product. You can have a look into it, or you can gain access to them. And you can also always write to us in the email which you could see on the screen. And also for your kind information, our next masterclass will be on July 14th, during which we will cover privilege session management, where you can learn how to launch privilege sessions by configuring remote access pathways. Also gain insights how admins can monitor and record sessions and suspend malicious user activities. And the floor is now open for questions. Please shoot your questions. You can post them on the chat panel, and I will be glad to get them answered. Can you provide URLs to product literature specific to today's topic? Sure, yes. We will be sharing the respective URLs, and also our help document is something open. So you can just type manageengine.com/privilege access management help, and password reset. So see here, password management. But still, yes, we will be sharing it with you. So the recording will also be shared with you. Give us some time to process the same, and it should be available on the masterclass landing page. Okay. Even if you didn't get a chance to join our previous masterclass sessions, you will have the recording of the same. Yes, here we have another question. Can you do a comparison between Microsoft Labs and PMP remote password management? Yes, Microsoft Labs is something that will help you to manage the Windows local account passwords, where a Password Manager Pro as well as PAM 360 will help you to manage the local account passwords as well as domain account passwords and any other IT asset passwords. We're not just Windows centric, it is going to be a heterogeneous supported product. So we are more robust with regards to heterogeneous support. And as I said before, you can see the list of supported platforms for which we can perform password reset, like remote password reset. And you can gain access to this sheet in our handout section. Okay, so yes, we are getting some more questions, which will be prepared as a document and which would be available on the masterclass landing page. So from now, I will hand over the session back to Sri Lekha. So thank you, guys. Thanks everyone for your time. Over to you, Sri Lekha.
Hey guys, thank you so much for taking the time to participate in this session today. I appreciate all your questions, but we are running out of time. If you have any specific topic in mind which you would like for us to cover in the upcoming masterclass sessions, or if you have any doubts on the previous session, or if you would like any technical assistance on any of these topics, please always send us an email to hello-pam360 at manageengine.com. We'll be happy to help you with that. Um, Prashant, if you do not mind, there's another question with which we can wrap it up. Looks like I has sent the question already.
Sure. I'm concerned that if password reset is performed on a production system, how will you know if PMP applies service account to an application? Yes, the first and foremost thing here is PMP or PAM 360 has the ability to identify where that account is being used, okay, along with the dependency details. So whenever you perform a password change for that particular system, yes, PMP is aware on where it is being used, and the password change will get applied on that specific service. And not just applying the password change, PAM suite of solutions has the ability to restart those services as well to get them into effect. And post the like applying the password changes, it will be logged as an audit under the audit tab too.
Thank you, Prashant. Also, guys, with this, we'll be wrapping up this session. So, like I had mentioned before, please feel free to post all your follow up questions to the email ID hello-pam360 at manageengine.com. And if you would like us to cover any of these sessions that you have in mind, please also mention them. For now, thank you so much. We'd meet you in the next episode of the PAM Masterclass. Over and out.